Hello everyone, welcome to Xerxez Solution, a development training and research company located in Bangalore. So we are going to start some of the series related to tips and tricks for developers. During the development, since we have developed a lot of projects related to AI and machine learning based, so we have found some of the challenges what the developers are facing apart from the security also. Okay, so this series meant for all the developers in the world, okay, who want to design their microservice based application securely. Okay, let's try to discuss first some of the scenarios. So based on that one, we will try to design the prototype, the initial prototype which are required to design any kind of a microservice based applications. So let me go to my whiteboard, okay, and try to see how the development phase look like nowadays. So as far as the development phase is concerned, generally what we do, the group of developer now they have migrated from monolithic service-based solution to microservice-based solution, and we have adopted, and definitely rapidly we are adopting DevOps lifecycle. Since Xerxez concentrate more on the AI-based the applications, and apart from the DevOps framework, we also mainly focus on MLOps, okay, machine learning orchestrations. Anyways, let's try to discuss about the brief prototype and what problem we were facing, okay, the before, and how we have rectified that one that I want to discuss. Now, how the developers or the group of developers design the microservice based application nowadays. Let us imagine that I want to design a simple the web based application, and I want to deploy it in the web server. So in that case, the applications and the database are the key component for designing any micros web applications. So once the complete application is ready, then we convert that one into micro based applications. Images are created, and those images are using the Docker images are created, and those images are containerized. Then those containers are orchestrated by the Kubernetes cluster. And if you want to make the everything automation, generally what we do, we try to take the help of DevOps framework. It could be, let's say, the GitHub Actions, or let's say Jenkins, Circle CI, GitLab. The many tools are available. Apart from that, monitoring tool Nagios, Splunk. Okay, so plenty of the list is endless here. Okay, so the main objective would be to make it automations. Okay, and once the microservices are ready, then we have to deploy in production level, and we will be using the list of cloud service provider. Either you try to deploy in a single CSP, or you try to go with hybrid architecture. So fair enough, all are familiar with this, how exactly this works is. Now the question what or the problem what we was facing is the security. Okay, how you are going to maintain the security as far as the whole DevOps three phases are concerned. There are scenarios. Generally what we was doing, we used to develop the code using local machines, or let's say on-prem data centers. Then using the DevOps framework, we used to deploy that, okay, in the production environment, which is the CS cloud service providers. Now as per the security is concerned, see, when it comes to CSPs, cloud service providers, they guarantee about the security. Okay, so you didn't have to worry about that. So what about this phase, that is the development phase, as well as the DevOps framework, or the developer life cycle? So how we are going to secure it? This was kind of a challenging task we was facing. So there are two scenarios here. Okay, so to rectify, either you can go with cloud native. Okay, so cloud native, or let's say cloud CSPM model. We have cloud security posture management system in the cloud native architecture, where in CSPM generally what we do, we try to secure the entire thing in out from outside of the cloud. Okay, so this is one option we have. So in this case, if you are adopting CSPM, so you need certain security tools. both in this two phase. Let's say in the development phase as well as the DevOps framework. As far as the development phase is concerned, generally what we used to do, so we used to set a firewall here. Let's say organization, there is one organization, and you are going to set a firewall here. Okay, so apart from the firewall for security purpose, but nowadays what is happening, the developers are working from different locations. In that case, how you are going to secure the whole development phase, it's kind of a challenging task. So we have access ZTNA, there are many options are available, but the problem here is you need to bear an extra cost for this. Okay, when it comes to firewall itself, it's charging you, okay, extra cost you need to bear for this. That is kind of a challenge. When it comes to startups, it's tedious, I mean challenging stage for them. Okay, apart from that, not only development phase, let's say even in DevOps framework, you need to set or purchase security tools. So some of the security tools are available. You take GitHub Actions, they are offering. But if you want to deep dive into all those things, let's say you want to scan the whole entire code or the entire repository, so you need to purchase extra. Just imagine you are using around 15 to 20 tools, okay, for the whole orchestration process. In that case, this is kind of again a challenging task. Okay, and regarding about the production, in production, as I mentioned, the cloud itself will try to maintain the security. Okay, so as far as cloud is concerned, they have the, as let's try to focus on AWS. In AWS we have, let's say, guard duty is there. Okay, guard duty, inspector we have. So all these options are available so that we can maintain the security in the code. So same issue we was facing as far as the development is concerned. We came up with something where we don't want it to spend extra cost on the security, and apart from that, even the whole process of execution, we wanted to make it safe and secure and reliable also. So what we did, so instead of going with CSPM is a good model, remember. Okay, so instead of going with the CSPM, what we did, we went for Cloud Workload Protection Platforms. Okay, where securing from the inside. Okay, so as far as securing from the inside is concerned, what we did, rather than deploying all these phases, let's say development phase, DevOps framework using the on-prem data centers, we pushed everything. Let's say the development phase also in the cloud, and DevOps also in the cloud. Okay, and production is also in the cloud. That stands for Cloud Workload Protection Platform. And we started creating our the microservice based application within the cloud itself. So like this, it is possible we can reduce drastically, we can reduce the cost of development, next automations, as well as the production level. And today in this video, I'm going to discuss how to design, or let's say the simple prototype, which is required, prototype which is required at the development end for the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin up one EC2 machines, simple EC2 machines, along with the security, okay, security policy, let's say, etc. And apart from that, what I'm going to deploy a VS code on it. So let's try to take an Ubuntu machine here. So I'm going to use an Ubuntu. I'm going to install an VS code inside that EC2 machine, and next let's try to create a virtual environment. So this is the agenda of this the video. Let's begin then. Okay, so let me hover over let me log into my AWS account first. Hold on. So let's go to AWS. Okay, let's go to, this is the console, and yeah, go to account, log into your AWS account. So you can design the same thing even in case of the other CSPM, the module also. Next is, it's time to spin up. First, let's try to spin up one EC2 machine. Okay, so click on EC2 machine, Elastic Cloud Computing System. So I don't want to discuss more on this part since a lot of videos are available in YouTube. So you can refer if you are not familiar with the EC2 instances. First, before creating the any EC2 machine, generally what we do, we try to create a security group apart from that key pairs which are required. So the you can create the key pairs using this option, key pairs. In my case, just click on this, create key pairs, and give the all the information. And try to save it as a PEM file. Okay, so if you have a PEM file, the advantage is using the PEM file, you can convert it into PPK file. Okay, so that option is available. I'll go with the RSA. Next, just create a key, and the moment when you hit on this create key, so your key will be you can download in the local machine. Okay, so let me show you where exactly my key is available. Inside the download, you can see somewhere here called PEM file. Where it is here? Come on, somewhere you can see the PEM file here. Anyways, let me show you that. Okay, where exactly that PEM file is located. So I have created my PEM file. So after that, once after successful creating the key, next comes creating the security group. Make a best practice. Okay, rather than creating the security group while pushing, or let's say spinning up the EC2 machine, it's better to create a security group separately. So how you can create a separate security group? There is an option here called security group. Under security group, you can create directly here from hit on this security group and give it a name, security group name, description you give VPC. If you want any domain, you can set. And the most important part is the inbound rules. Okay, set the inbound rule as per the requirement. How many number of ports you want, and which are the ports you want to access your microservice based applications. That is very important. Since one more thing, the most important part, don't forget to activate SSH22 port, HTTP as well as HTTPS, which is very important to make or let's say to perform the other activity. Since in my case already I have created the security group, so I just wanted to brief you, okay, how to create a security group. So as far as the security group is concerned, you can see there are a lot of security groups are available in my case, but it's very difficult for me, to differentiate which security group is by using the name, no. So since you can see here, I have created one security group with the VS code, and it's very easy for me to recognize, okay, and characterize. Under this security group, if you go to inbound rules, so I have activated the port number SSH. You can see here 22, all traffic also available, which is a bad part as far as security is concerned. So you try to do it, you try to assign the specific port. HTTP and HTTPS with the port number 80 and 83 I have selected. Later on, if I'm changing, let's say based upon the requirement, I can modify this. Okay, that is a good part. Next, after creating the key and the security group, next comes let's try to spin up the instances. So how I can spin up the instance? See, there is on the left corner we have the option called instance and instance type. Hit on instances, it will take you to the exact location where you can spin up the instances. So let's try to spin the instance, launch instance. Okay, and let's say I want to design an environment for developers. So I'll try to I'll assign the name as a developer here. Great. Next, come down, select Ubuntu. Since I'm going with the Ubuntu, if you are comfortable with any other the flavors, no problem. So process will remain same. Next, I'll go with the 20.04 LTS, which is free tier is available. So I'll go with the free tier only. Next, already I've created the key pair in the name called Mautic. So I'll try to use Mautic keyword. Don't get confused. It's a key pair. It's not related to digital marketing or etc. Next, you can create the security group here. By default, it gives a name, and as I said, it's very difficult, to recognize which security group belongs to which instances, etc. So select the existing security group, and from here you can select. See here, already I have created a security group in the name called VS Code. So I'm using the same security group here. Perfect. Rest of the things remains as it is. If you want to add a new value, you can add. For the time being, I'll go with the 8 GB only storage. Okay. Next, launch the instance. Okay, hit on launch instance. Voila, now you can see my instance is getting ready. So this take little time, as you know, if you are familiar with the instances, maybe it takes around 30 seconds, 30 to 45 seconds to spin up. Max to max 1 minute is required to spin up. Till then, since this get completed, let's try to explore Xerxez solution. Okay, what are the options, okay, services we offer as in the market? So if you want to know more about the Xerxez solution, okay, so you can go to our xerxez.in, which is nothing but our website, where we have online courses also. Under all courses, you can see we have different courses, and we are adding more and more courses related to business intelligence, cloud, cybersecurity, DevOps. Internships also we are offering. The programming language are 30 plus courses we are running nowadays, and in future we are going to add more and more. The specialty of our Xerxez is we are not going to divide the whole course into number of technology. Let's say if you have a full stack development, generally what we do, we try to make it Python separate, let's say ML flow separate. In our case, it's not like that. We give the complete solution which is required for the developer, or let's say the people who want to upgrade their knowledge. It's kind of a full stack where we are going to use 6 to different set of the technology which are required to complete the whole process. Okay, introduction to machine learning, we have, you can see ML flow, k-mean clustering. Okay, so available and in very nominal prices. Okay, we are not going to charge it. Python, we have WordPress, we have. And full stack development, this is related to regression, deep learning, NLP, using the ML ops, etc. Julia, we are coming with a lot of options. Apart from that, let me check again whether my spin instance is running or not. Okay, it's still initializing. This will take little time. Let me try to explore other options also. Under product, we are selling some products, cross selling, like we have done it in email extractors, okay, Office, Windows, etc. So you can go if you want to have a lifetime, or let's say the complete the product, you can approach, or straight away you can select from here. Apart from that, we are giving even if you want to become an instructor with Xerxez solution, you can become an instructor here. Okay, if you have zeal to teaching, and if you want to earn extra, so you can register in our portal and you can upload your the courses also. Okay, and you can earn passive income. Okay, these are some of the services we offer, and for more information you can explore our website. Next, let me check again, let me come back. Okay, let me check whether it's still initializing. Yes, it's still initializing. Wait for it. Perfect. Now I am able to access my EC2 machine. Perfect. Click on this. You are going to get a public IP address. So select this public IP address. Now it's time to see. Most of the time we use PuTTY, or let's say any other third-party services are available. Since as far as if you see in terms of developer perspective, so we are comfortable with IDEs. Okay, especially we use Visual Studio for designing. So we want to integrate this EC2 machine along with the VS Code, and we want to create a virtual environment so that we should feel like we are working in the local environment, but all the modifications are taking place in my EC2 machines. Okay, so to do this, let me try to configure this. Let me go to my VS Code. You can see here. Now here, this is my local machine, remember. Now I want to connect this VS Code with my EC2 machine. How we can do this one? So to do this, again you go to command palette. Under command palette, there is an option here. Okay, SSH, remote SSH. Make sure that undergoing extension, you try to install this remote SSH. Okay, then only you can configure. Let's try to configure this. Okay, click on this and go to the first option. User, my name is tanzim.ssh config. Click on this, and it gives you a small piece of code where you need to share your information, like your host name. So let's say host name is Mautic, I have given. Next, share the public IP address, what just now I have copied from my EC2 machine. Apart from that, username is on Ubuntu, since I'm spinning the Ubuntu, and that information you will get here somewhere. You will get that information as far as Ubuntu instances consent. Okay, somewhere you'll get, come on, come on, come on, here you can search here. Yes, you can see instance details Ubuntu. Okay, you can copy and paste it over there. Next, apart from this, the Mautic PEM file, just now what we created, and it is located inside desktop. Under desktop we have Mautic and Mautic PEM. So I have stored that one under desktop. Okay, where it is Mautic, under Mautic we have PEM file. Okay, fair enough. So this is where I have stored my Mautic file. Great. Now it's time to connect this, remember. So we need to connect this to our EC2 machine, local to EC2 machine. There are two options here. You can go to command palette and there is an option called connect to host. Okay, after the configuration, this is first option. Apart from that, you can see on the left corner down there is a green tab here. Click on this, it will take you to the same option here, connect to host. There is an option, you turn this connect to host, and this is a host name, my host name Mautic. Click on Mautic. Now this will take, now the magic begins, so it's trying to connect along with your key pair. It's trying to connect to your EC2 machine using the VS Code. Okay, so wait for a moment, let this get connect. You can see here opening remote, so that means it's trying to SSH into your EC2 machine. Once it is getting connected, then it's time to spin off the node. Let me see, there is some error here. Let me find out what exactly the error it is. Okay, again let me close this. Cool. This is a life of developer, command palette. Let me, okay, configure here, configure. Let me check whether my IP address is correct or not. So hold on. Okay, cool, come on. So this is my IP address. Let me copy this again. I think there was some error in IP address. Okay, now let us try to connect. This is one option we have under view, command palette, connect to host, Mautic. Okay, now let's see if I'm able to connect to your SSH or not. Perfect. Now continue, give the continue button. Hit on continue button. Okay, yes. Now you can see SSH to Mautic. Okay, that means I've connected my EC2 machine to my VS Code. Okay, fair enough. Since you feel like, just have a look on the dashboard. Okay, since you have you are designing the code using the VS Code, that the field which is required for the developers will remain same, but all the modifications are taking place in the EC2 machine. And since remember, we are not using the data on-prem data centers, so everything is all the development, deployment, and the deployment of the model, we are doing it within the cloud itself. So there is no need of purchasing the firewall. You need not to worry about the security aspects, but there may be a chances, okay, during there may be a security violations or due to misconfiguration of the users, etc., that we can inspect using the inspector or the guard duty, that where we are going to discuss this in our coming videos. Now since fair enough, you know how to connect to the EC2 instance to the VS Code. Now it's time, okay, to install VS Code. Remember, whatever the VS Code I have used here, this is installed in my local machine. It is not in EC2. Now it's time to install the VS Code inside my EC2 machine. Okay, that is which required. So once after installing, I'll design a complete platform where developer can design their microservices. Let's begin with installing the VS Code in my machine. It comes with only simple 4 steps. So let's try to explore those four steps first. First and foremost, let's say, since remember I'm using as a Ubuntu is a user here. So you can create a VS Code for this particular user called the Ubuntu, and administrator is also possible, but when you get the access for the administrator, it will not allow you to create a virtual environment. That problem we face here. So better you create a users and give the administration access to that users, or you can go with the default one. I'll go with the default user here. First let's try to update my machine. How to update the machine? apt sudo apt get update. Okay, it will update the whole machine. Let me try to update first. So after successful updation of my machine, let's begin with installing the VS code. So hold on, perfect. Now my machine got updated. Now we required some packages, okay, dependencies like software property, the common, etc. Okay, so we required those dependencies. Let's try to install those dependencies. Sudo apt install a software properties properties hyphen common. Okay, so this is the first dependencies we require, and enter it, and yes, and give the expected, yeah, it let it that get installed. As far as software properties is concerned, it's a common package that provide an abstraction of the used app repository. It includes a set of utilities that enable user to add or remove personal package archives in Ubuntu and Debian based distributions. This is the reason we required this. Sorry. Apart from this, we required another one called for the HTTPS, okay, transportation, like if you want to communicate with the external world using HTTPS, we required one more. So let's try to install that also. Sudo apt install sorry, install. Next, yeah, apt transport HTTPs. Okay, so hit on run, so it will start installing that HTTP. Perfect, that is also over. Next we required one more last called wget for to install any packages, or let's say the software we require. These three packages are required to run my VS code. Okay, fair enough. Next in the next step, and we need to enable the apt repositories. Apt repository, that means we need to create a GPG key, okay, and we should enable this in the apt repository. How we can do this? So run this command wget, and we are going to fetch this one from this particular link, and we are going to enable the key here. Okay, so key is also enabled now. Next, that part is after enabling, it's time to install the VS code, and that you can do it through the apt repository Debian. You need to install, so you can run the command called apt repository Debian emd64, and this is a complete link to install. Generally we use to install the packages. Perfect, so let this get installed. Once after successful installation, then we will try to spin up our VS code. It's very simple. Done. Now how to spin up our VS code? Simple, since all the packages are available now. Sudo apt install next code, that's it. Okay, enter it. This will take little time. Okay, hit on yes, and yeah, till then we will try to explore our website again. Let me log into my website. So we have the products here. Even we give the place a kind of an internship. Apart from the internship, we give the placement also. Okay, so long term, those who want to shift their career from any services to, let's say, any to EI and ML, they can approach us. Apart from this, we also conduct educational level as well as corporate level trainings, where we have we offer the trainings in MLOps, Python, security, etc. So you can explore this link also. Whenever you are free, you can approach us if you have any trainings or any the project related to AI and ML. Well, fair enough. Next, we will see whether our it's successfully installed or not. Great. Now VS Code is successfully installed. Now how to access VS Code? It's pretty simple. Run the code space dot. Okay, so the moment when you hit on this, it will pop up a new window. where you have installed your VS Code, and this window, from this window onwards, you are going to run your application or design your applications now inside the EC2 machines. Okay, and if you compare this one with the local, looks similar. This is what we want as a developer. Okay, so once we get the platform, we start designing the microservices. The major difference you can see here, some of the options are also available here. Okay, these are the files, bash files. Okay, that is related to the EC2 machine, and you can make the whole library system to maintain your project. Okay, now it's time to create a virtual machine. We need to create a virtual machine. Okay, now let's see how to create a virtual machine here. Okay, so once after creating a virtual machine, it's very easy for us to run any applications. First, let's try to check whether Python is installed or not. Hit on Python. No, Python is not installed here. Python itself is not getting recognized, so it's time to install a Python. So as far as our development is concerned, we most of the time prefer Python 3.8. Okay, which is we are comfortable, and that depends on you. Okay, how you are going to use versions as far as Python is concerned. And when it comes to microservice based application, you can use any languages there. Okay, one microservice you can use Python, one another microservice, let's say Julia, etc. You can use it, any, or Java, whatever it is. Now let's try to install Python first. How to install Python? Sudo apt install, let's say Python. I'll try to give 3.8, okay, which is nothing but my version, and install it. Perfect. Now it started installing the Python. Fair enough. Wait, yes, now it's totally, yeah, it's got installed now. Now let me try to check whether I'm able to see the version. Okay, Python, you run Python 3. Okay, now you can see 3.8 is installed. Control D to come out from that Python console. Now apart from this, we need one more called development. Okay, development 3.8 hyphen div. Okay, so this is for development. As far as 3.8 version is concerned, under we need to create a developer account. Okay, so I want to design a developer account here using the div. So installing required packages. To install the Python, it should require prerequisites as a sudo apt-get build check-in, etc. Let's try to run that developer. You can explore later on also. So here what I do, okay, same I will run, but for the development environment. Okay, so Python 3.8 development environment, run this. Next y, yes. So it will take again little time. Okay, you have to have patience. So once after successful completion, then we will try to spin up our the virtual the environment. Yeah, it's getting installed. Perfect. Okay, it got installed now. Now it's time to create a virtual environment. So code will remain same. Sudo apt install Python 3.8, and here I'm going to create a virtual environment. For that one, we have the command called venv. Okay, same as usual. Perfect. Okay, so next install this virtual environment. It will create a .virtual env file or the folders, so where you can keep everything related to virtual environment. Let's try to create this. Now it's time to create a virtual. How to create a virtual environment? See, to create a virtual environment, use your version Python 3.8. I'm using -m. Next, there is a command called venv, and where you have to give the location here, where exactly you want to store it. For that one, first check the present working directory. So right now I'm in home Ubuntu. Okay, so home Ubuntu. So here I'm going to create a virtual environment. For that, let's try to run the same command, Python 3.8. Next -m venv. Next, my location is home. Under home I have Ubuntu, which is nothing but the user here. Under Ubuntu, okay, I'm going to create one file called new directory. Inside this, I'm going to create a virtual env file. Okay, folder, sorry, subfolder, env folder. and give it a name. Let's say I want to give a name, let's say MLOps. So this is going to be my the virtual environment name. Enter it. So you can see it, one new file got created on the left corner under new virtual environment and MLOps. There is a file called bin. Here my activated, okay, activate option is there. Through using that activate, I can activate my virtual environment. Fair enough. Now how to do this, how to activate? So use source. Under after source, give it your location. Home. Under home I have Ubuntu. Under Ubuntu I have new. Under new I have virtual env. Next under virtual env I have bin file, I guess. Okay, let's try to under virtual env I have MLOps. Okay, hit on MLOps. Under MLOps I have bin. Under bin, after that, after bin, after inside the bin I have activate option. Activate, you can see here activate. So run that activate. Perfect. Enter it. The moment when you hit on activate, now you can see my virtual environment got created. After creating, I have activated also. See, this whole process is required. Generally what we do while designing, okay, so it's not kind of a best practice. While designing we do it everything in the documentation, then we deploy it. Say security issues will come. So the best practices deploy, create the development environment even in the CSV itself, and from there you can process rest of the things. So this is all from my side as far as this video is concerned. In the next video we will try to see how to secure more, and we will try to create some few simple programs, okay, microservice based programs, and we will try to use Docker containers, etc. in next video. Let's meet on the next video. Thank you, and please subscribe our channel for the latest the videos. If you want to have the notification, press the bell icon also. Well, this is it from Xerxez solution. If you have any trainings, development, or let's say if you want any help related to the IT, you can approach us. Thank you very much.